What's good, guys? My name is Ishan. You're probably busy, which is perfect because on this channel we like to keep things short and sweet. No fluff, just quick and to the point. So in the next few minutes we're going to be going over a stock that could double, a tech stock with super tremendous upside. That is the future of technology. And as always, we never talk about any generic stocks like Apple, Facebook, or anything on this channel. We talk about real gems that have huge upside potential. So if you appreciate these short and value-packed videos, make sure to drop a quick sub and let's clock in. So I just want to quickly go over some of our other most recent notable picks. Domo, which we called around $37, ended up running up to a high of $46 before the tech sell-off. The other stock was MongoDB, which I talked about how it had a support at $200 and where I would ideally be looking to buy. It came down there and is now over $230. Then other picks like Virgin Galactic I called out in the 16s. SBE stock last week at $13, which is now at $16. And many more, so make sure to subscribe so you never miss the call outs. Anyways, the stock we're talking about today is Datadog. This is a stock I've called out before, but the more research I've done recently has really just convinced me that this is a tech stock that could double. So Datadog is a company that focuses on cloud monitoring tools. They provide near real-time analytics and monitoring services through the use of a unified data platform that monitors a vast array of cloud operations, including servers, databases, tools, and services, and it detects problems before they result in critical and costly outages. Not only that, the analytics can help identify the source of the problem to help keep it from recurring. Basically, if you don't have a tech background, essentially all these companies have vast amounts of data, and well, if there are any problems, any bugs, any issues, they need to be able to quickly identify it. They need tools to be monitoring it for any problems, and so that's why a tool like Datadog is super powerful. Now, there are two major things I began looking into that have made Datadog a lot more attractive in my eyes. The first is the shift to the cloud from legacy databases. Basically, legacy tools and applications are just really old tools and applications that the only reason they're still used today are because they're expensive to replace and because they handle a lot of important work. However, the Vance and Bourne survey of 100 IT leaders at businesses with more than 1,000 staff also found that legacy systems are considered a barrier to projects by a third of the respondents, and according to the research, large companies were more likely to claim to be held back by legacy systems, with 44% saying it affects every or most projects. And also in the last 10 years, roughly 701% of all applications used by Fortune 5,000 companies run in legacy environments built 20 to 30 to even 40 years ago. Another top-tier analyst firm estimates that a typical corporation spends between 60% and 80% of its IT budget simply to maintain existing mainframe systems and applications. And so with more and more companies realizing that the slow process is just not worth it, and with more and more data, more logs, companies will begin moving to the cloud because they realize that that's the future, and well, they're going to need to monitor all of that cloud data. And as a result, the cloud monitoring market is projected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 22.6% from 2020 to 2025. Remember, companies have many applications, so being able to monitor them, connect them, and that too at an effective and cheap cost, that leaves a lot of room for a company like Datadog to come in and take up a lot of market share. Compared to, say, a Splunk, Datadog is in a much better position because from what I've been reading, Splunk, it's great for security and log monitoring, but when it comes to things like cloud infrastructure and application monitoring, they aren't that special and their service can get quite costly. Datadog, on the other hand, undercuts them in price and in fact can even be better in some of these areas. So a lot of companies companies that initially adopted Splunk are now moving away to cheaper alternatives and in fact even better in some areas such as Datadog. They're in a way undercutting their competitors, and once people sign on to Datadog, they're even spending more, which we can see through Datadog's dollar-based retention rate, which measures the level of spending by existing customers. And their dollar-based retention rate is over 130% for the 12th consecutive quarter. To put it another way, existing customers are spending 30% more over the past year than they did in the 12 months prior. So what we just went over was Datadog benefiting from the cloud push, which is just going to be massive. They have so much opportunity as we discussed. Now what we're going to be talking about is a cloud push by the US government. In June, Datadog announced that they had successfully navigated the Federal Risk and Authorization Management Program, or FedRAMP, certification process, and they had achieved its low impact software as a service authorization. Achieving this distinction allows US federal government departments and agencies to adopt and use Datadog's cloud monitoring platform, which became available in the FedRAMP marketplace on May 14th, 2020. Now, as we all know, the US loves spending a ton of money. We all know about the $10 billion Jedi cloud contract awarded to Microsoft. And another thing we all know is that the US is very slow to build new infrastructure, especially their technology infrastructure. In fiscal 2019, federal agencies spent a combined $5.9 billion in contract obligations on cloud infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service, and other cloud support and migration services. They're on track to spend $7.1 billion in fiscal 2020 and even more the next year. They've been running on legacy systems for years, but now with this Jedi contract and as they begin upgrading even more, there's a lot of opportunities for Datadog, who has now been approved for use by the government to get a lot of contracts. And also make sure you do your own due diligence and research. And with that being said, make sure you subscribe and like, and let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think about Datadog stock. Would you be looking to buy and do all that good stuff? And I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Clocking out for now. Peace.